3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Oh, well, hello, everybody. It's the Dennis and Andy show. We are back. Got to put us in the right order. I can't have my head with a freaking Packers shirt below it. Gross.
I know. Why not have taste? I get it.
What taste? I think the last I heard, Dak and Aaron might get together to watch the Super Bowl together because neither one of them's in it.
And Tom Brady. I think they're all getting together. We should invite him over to our house.
We should do that. That's for sure. Why is this cute? Anyhow, cool. Well, Dennis was off last week. He was down in Florida, living up the high life on vacation.
Worst vacation ever.
Because you didn't invite me, and now that I know it's the worst vacation ever, I would like to say you're welcome. My voodoo hex worked.
Or was it Robert the Doll? Yes, that's right. The one thing I was able to do. My wife got sick. She got food poisoning on day 2. It hit her. So it pretty much ruined the entire thing. But we went on a haunted tour in a Civil War fort and got to visit Robert the Doll. The same Robert the Doll that cursed Ozzy Osbourne. And you can Google that and find out about Ozzy and Jack's intervention and interaction with Robert the Doll. It was great. That part was great.
Well, that's good. Well, cool. Very cool. Well, we're glad you're back. Val says, yo. Luke says, hello all. Good to finally catch a live show with Dale. That's cool. And it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Let's go. Exactly. So let's bring on the man of the hour. No, not Dennis. Everybody thinks it's Dennis. Dennis is not the man of the hour.
I'm the comic relief.
Exactly. If you ask his wife, she would say Dennis is the man of a few minutes, not the hour.
So. Wow, you went there already.
I did. What's up, Dale?
Hey, Andy. Dale. Dennis, thanks for having me on.
You know it, brother. Now, the very important question out of the gate that I thought, you know what, I've got to ask because I know Dennis is concerned. If you had to pick one or the other, you can't pick one of these two: Star Trek or Star Wars.
Star Wars.
That's unfortunate.
Oh.
Dennis is a huge Trekkie.
I watched a lot of Star Trek.
Technically speaking, there's no wrong answer to that.
But I actually watched Star Trek back in the 60s. So I'm OG.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dennis and I weren't around for the original Star Trek, so he had to watch reruns.
But I would always watch Star Trek and my mom would be vacuuming. So I don't know. I associate Star Trek with, to this very day, I hate the sound of vacuum cleaners.
Do you really?
Oh, wow. I hate it.
See, I don't mind it.
I'm like a cat.
Are there any? See, that's funny. I love getting into free flowing conversations like this, just going on tangents. I got to admit, there's two things I don't mind doing around the house. If my wife's like, "Hey, could you do this?"
Vacuuming?
I don't mind vacuuming, and I don't mind doing the dishes. But if she's like, "Oh, would you dust?" I freaking hate dust. I hate it.
I have this thing. I have this thing called a dishwasher.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I mean by doing the dishes. Loading
so you are the dishwasher.
Right. No, I have a dishwasher.
Okay, I can see
I have
that.
a
It's relaxing.
dishwasher, but even if there's just some, like, I don't mind emptying the dishwasher and loading the dishwasher, but I also don't mind just, if there's like a few in the sink and I just could put them in, I'll just be like, you know what? I'll just start dumping, I'll just wash them by hand.
Oh, you're probably one of those organized guys, right? Like, look at your studio. Look at your studio. It's all that stuff neatly organized.
I mean, my wife wouldn't agree with that. But...
The only part of my studio that's clean is the part you can see. The rest is like horrible.
Okay.
It's like photocopies and pencils and
is that soundproof foam behind you on the wall?
Oh yeah, you got to have it.
Yeah, but does it do any good when it's not over the whole wall, just that one area? It's not like you.
Well, I'm working on it.
But I assume that's just when you're riffing on your guitar and stuff, right?
Well, you got to see, you got to have artwork. You got to have some bling, some color.
Oh yeah.
Well,
what's on the other side of that wall that you're protecting people's ears from?
It is a alley.
Oh,
I live right next to a back alley.
Oh, okay.
So, all kinds of excitement.
So does this stuff really work?
Well, it's not for soundproofing, it's for sound treatment, right? Because if you don't have it on your walls, everything's going to bounce around. It's got to be trapped somewhere. So this basically is just, you don't really have to have everything covered. For soundproofing, it's just for sound treatment.
Okay, so what is? I mean, I'm going to ask, what is sound treatment? I mean,
when you're listening to speakers, you want to try to avoid the bouncing of sound waves. So these things will break up, so you won't get so much echo, and you won't get a lot of buildup of frequencies if you have like foam on your walls.
But I mean, if would you still have that on your wall if you didn't, have your guitar and all that?
Yeah, because it just looks cool.
Okay.
I mean, come on, it's like wristbands.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Oh, I hear you. Okay, well, we'll go with that. I'm all down for what's up, Earthmind. I'm all down for stuff that looks cool. So that works for me. If you say it also because
it's cool. Awesome.
Oh yeah. No,
believe me.
Well, it just changes the dynamic of the sound. It's like going to the Mormon tabernacle or
plus the main thing is when I fall asleep, I can lean back against it. Right?
Oh, there you go. Well, what if I don't know how big the room you're in is, but
it's tiny. It's basically it's like a baby's room. So it's got there's a room for a crib and a changing table and diapers. That's it. So it's basically the smallest room in the whole house. And I'm in it. So I'm constantly bumping things over and I got long arms and
sure.
It's really irritating, but it's my life.
So why not get a bigger room? That's the big question. Get a bigger room.
I kind of like it.
I've run the gambit of just the spare room in the house, which is like 10 by 10. And then, last time we talked, I'm above a 2-car garage now. So it's a really big space.
Yeah. I can see. Yeah. Lots of room.
I've got too much stuff. I mean, Dennis is in a pretty big space as well. Probably the same square footage, except I don't have the angled ceilings. That would drive me crazy.
Yeah. I like the angled ceilings. The posters are all pointing in. I used to be in a studio like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's above.
And those boxes are all comic books.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Matter of fact, we were just joking because I was in the Florida Keys for the last couple of weeks, so I had 2 weeks of comics to pick up today before I started my quick flips, and that's my receipt for 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
I know, dude. He told me what he spent, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But he was not. So
yeah, it was. Unfortunately, it's a lot, and I'm behind on my reading already. So yeah, I've got a lot to get caught up on. But one of the things that I kind of wanted to find out, because I'd love to know the story. Back in the day, I've been collecting X-Men since about 77, 76, somewhere in there. And that's where I really started, not full blown, but I got into it. And then I really started collecting. One of my buddies wound up working in a comic shop, and late 80s, I just jumped in with both feet, earlier than that. But one of Dragonforce and Dragonring, and then Poison Elves, they were kind of my different books that none of my other friends got. And I remember loving, I don't have them anymore. I actually checked right before the show. I went because I wound up having to do a purge since I moved 15 times. So I don't have all my comics anymore. But I'm wondering, how did you get involved? Because Dragonring and Dragonforce were some of my indie favorites. They were my gold. So I'm always upset that I got rid of them.
Right.
How'd you get involved with that? Because they were always classic to me.
Yeah, I think Andy owns one of those pages. Right?
I do.
With all that dead space.
Yep. Dennis has seen it.
Oh, man. Those were the days. Well, I really, it started out as Dragonring, right?
Yeah.
And I think I was doing, what did I do first? Samurai for Airicel Comics. And then I just sort of wandered over. Because they were moving artists around all the time. And I did Dragonring for a while. And I think I was, Dragonring. And then we decided to make it all my book. We called it Dragonforce. And I did a lot of that. I was doing a lot of work on, like, I would get those art boards, like the thick art boards. And then I would just, I would draw with pencil, and then I would ink it. And then I had these Dr. Martin watercolor dyes. And I would put them in an airbrush, and I did all that stuff with Dr. Martin because I read that's what you use is the Dr. Martin watercolor dyes. So I did all that work with the Dr. Martin.
But hold on, let me see something here, because I forgot. I've got more than just what I have here. But this is great. So some of this stuff before it was color was gray tone. So did you just do ink wash for that stuff, knowing it was grayscale?
Well, I was using a lot of markers.
So in this stuff,
sort of marker.
But you did it, and you use gray marker. You mean?
Yeah,
it was printed in black and white. Yeah. And then
there was a lot of marker work back then.
And then Dragonring.
Right,
that
and then
was
I
the
got
dyes.
the color. Yeah, that was the dyes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then back then you could get the markers, and then you had like this jet of air that would spray over the markers.
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah, that's what I used a lot of that because it wasn't as messy as airbrush, just pop a marker in there, and a lot of black and white stuff. I really like black and white. I still do.
Oh.
And it's a lot cheaper. I mean, we were sort of on the tails of Ninja Turtles because they were so successful. So these guys had it was like an insulation company, right? Airicel.
Right.
And then they decided they couldn't continue business because they were using the formaldehyde stuff that causes cancer. So they couldn't do it anymore. And they said, because there were so many artists working for this guy, they said, well, that's not change the name and just create a comic book company. So they just kept the insulation name and started a comic book company.
Right.
Really?
But it was just weird that there was so many artists working for this insulation company, because it was like Barry Blair, right? He was working construction. He was installing insulation, and then he hired his artist friends to come and install insulation. And then for some reason, they didn't get cancer from it, and they all started a company, which became Airicel. True story. True story.
That is cool. I had no idea.
Yeah. And the guy was a real dick. Like the owner was such a dick. He was the most uncreative person I ever met in my life. He just went, okay, you guys do what you do, and I'll just leave. I'll just stay out of it.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
So you guys just decided then, all right, let's make comics. And
I came in later. It was like a gutted Victorian house in the middle of Ottawa, right around the corner from like an art store. And so all the bedrooms were studios, it was like one of those deals. It was pretty cool, actually.
Huh.
A lot of weed, It's a lot of weed.
There you go.
The creative juices.
That's right. But there was some good artists there. Did you hear a guy named Dave Cooper?
No.
Yeah, Dave Cooper was an amazing artist. He's a painter, and a guy by the name of Pat McEwen.
That rings a bell.
Jim Somerville did a bunch of aliens for Dark Horse. Nobody knows who these people are. I'm like literally the only person of that group that ever continued. And people actually kind of know who I am. It's weird. And I had no idea what I was doing back then. So ironic.
That is. Who would have thought? Yep, I've never thought that this conversation was going to take a turn that way. Well, yeah. So that is cool. From insulation to comics, just like that.
That's right. And because before that I was drawing. I remember I walked into airicel. I'd been working on these Fantastic Four submissions. Mm-hmm. And I worked really hard on them. Like I had this machinery, like a real John Byrne kind of thing. And I mailed them into Marvel, and they sent me a rejection slip. They basically said I was trying to draw too much like John Byrne. So I got 2 rejection slips from Marvel, but I kept trying. And I was about to send those submissions in, or at least photocopies. And I was watching the news, and it was like this story about this Ottawa comic book company. I'm like, what? And there's a comic book company in the city that I live in. I couldn't believe it. It was such a stroke of luck. And I was just about to audition for a Heart cover band to play bass.
Oh, no way.
I'll go. Yeah, I almost went that direction. I'm glad. And then so I went down to the all the deets were at the Silver Snail, the Silver Snail comic book shop in Canada. So there's this bulletin board that said there's an address, comic book artists needed. I'm like, oh my God, I got my portfolio. It was around the corner. And I walked in and I showed them my stuff, and they all started screaming and shouting. I'm like, what the fuck, you guys? They were just freaking out over my work. And I was like, what are you? I was like, I had no idea. I was as good as that at that point. Cause
oh, wow.
Yeah. They were like freaking out. And then they hired me on the spot, and I was doing the book like 2 days later, which I was totally unprepared for. I mean, if you look at that samurai stuff, it's pretty funny. The samurai stuff.
Yeah.
I remember samurai.
Yeah.
I actually had samurai. I didn't put 2 and 2 together with samurai with you on that.
Oh yeah.
That's
my very, very first work. But it was fun though, because I didn't know anything.
Do you still have your Fantastic Four samples?
Oh man, I wish I might. I actually might.
I was going to say, I mean, it's one of those things, because you sent me, image of some early stuff that your mom found. So I'm like,
yeah.
Unless you can remember literally going, ugh, screw this stuff, trash, throw it away. Mm-hmm. Might still be somewhere.
Yeah, I rarely throw anything away, but I did have a bunch of artwork. There's a bunch of like sketches and stuff, and it was in a storage unit, and I just got so sick and tired of paying for it. I just said, fuck it. I just let it go. So now on eBay, there's all this old stuff that I really don't want people to see. And this guy, it was auctioned off. This guy knew who I was. Yeah. And now if you look on eBay, you'll see all this really weird artwork, like sketches and stuff I did like a long time ago, like on my non-professional stuff. And I really can't do anything about it because he purchased everything in that storage bin.
Wow.
But I just was so tired of paying hundreds of dollars a month for junk, like just storing junk. It just got on my nerves. I said, fuck it, take it. I don't give a shit. I don't need any of that shit.
Do you have, so
the guy's selling my artwork. I completely forgot.
Luke says, Dale, big Pitt fan from Australia.
Oh, I was there.
I actually own your old statue, the #1 Gemstone Pit.
I got one.
You have one of those?
I have a bronze version. Listen, keep reading.
Oh, he's got the bronze version too.
I got the bronze version.
How big is it?
It's about this big, and it weighs a ton. Like that thing that thing will be around forever. I don't even know what to do with it.
Is it a full figure?
I could will it to somebody. It's it's like this, a big statue about this big. It's pretty big.
Is
solid
it a full
bronze?
Is it a full figure of Pitt? Wow.
Nice.
Hey, do you want me to get it?
Yeah, dude. Let's see it.
We actually kind of want to see
Hell
that.
Yeah.
We're statue fans.
I don't know if I can lift it.
Now I'm dying just to see how big it is since you said that. That's awesome. That is awesome.
That would. We were just talking about statues too. They Sideshow's putting out the new Jean Grey Phoenix statue, and it got released. What it's going to look like, and the pre-orders started rolling in. So we were literally just talking about these really cool statues. So I'm going to be curious because I have no idea what this is.
I think you're insane if you buy it, by the way, but
It's dusty.
Dude,
It's
I'm
tough.
on the fence on this.
Oh my God. Like,
seriously, how much do you think that thing weighs?
oh, it's really heavy.
Full screen that.
Is it really? You're not just making it up? Oh, that's awesome.
That is cool.
Okay, I gotta put it down, guys. Holy shit.
It's that heavy, huh? I wonder what that thing weighs.
Oh my God.
Did you hear that thunk when he set it down?
Yeah. Well, he's got to put his headphones in.
That's
Ta-da!
I can't.
Wow.
I mean, how much do you think that thing weighs? Seriously.
I'd say about 30.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah, but look at me.
It's curling.
I'm
It's
weak.
curling. Get your exercise in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah, I should actually.
And Luke found one after 10 years of searching.
Mm.
I know.
Do you know who else has one?
No.
Oh my God. It's either iced tea or the other tea. Look, one of the teas has one. Ice
Really?
or chat.
So I'm
Oh,
assuming that means it was like a really limited production.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know, maybe 25. It's a lot. I mean, that's actually a
wow.
lot. Maybe not that much. I got number one, so
That's cool.
That is.
That's way cool.
oh no, I'm exhausted now. What the heck?
Yeah, do you?
It's that cold
honestly,
weather.
Man. Oh man. Okay.
You shouldn't be that exhausted.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Do you have a whole run of your? I assume you have a whole run at least of one of each issue of Pitt.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of comic books in my basement, but I haven't even looked at it in probably 20 years.
Oh,
15
well,
years.
you know, if you ever want to dig around and find a run of Pitt and send them
I have
down.
no idea what's down there. There's merch, there's stickers, there's pins, I think I got a couple statues left.
Oh, wow.
Like all the merch I did, I just kind of jammed it in my basement. I'm glad I didn't put it in storage. I would have lost it.
Yeah, dude.
But I
Definitely.
lost a couple. I lost like a end table, I think. I just didn't care.
You know.
It's
end
just
table.
so stupid to store your junk.
Oh, wow.
Luke,
So
Luke said 20 were made and that only
okay.
10 were released to the public.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is number
Okay, thanks.
16.
Oh,
Wow, that is super limited.
Thanks for the reminder. I forgot about that, Luke.
and here you go. Yeah, it's heavy. Try
It's
paying
very
postage
heavy.
to Australia. No
Do some
way.
curls.
I don't like mailing comics to
That's
Australia,
crazy.
but you know, hey,
Yeah.
if that's
Yeah, I
where
know.
people buy it,
Crazy.
then it goes there.
Yeah.
Let's talk just a little different here. Instead of comics and stuff, let's talk horror movies. Dennis and I are horror movie buffs. We just saw, I think the last one we saw,
Scream, the new Scream.
Scream was the last. Yeah. For some reason, I skipped right over that because that just to me doesn't, like Dennis and I just saw the most recent Scream that they put out,
Yeah.
which was really good.
Yeah.
was.
I heard it wasn't too bad. Yeah.
It was, but I don't consider that a horror movie because to me, you're not really supposed to laugh during a horror movie.
Yeah. That's not really a horror movie. That's
No.
more like a little nostalgia journey with some
Yeah,
thrills.
well, even the first Friday the 13th, to me, that's a horror movie. But then as it went on, because you kind of know what to expect, it's not really horror anymore. It went off
slasher.
into that slasher flick,
Yeah.
you know?
They really created a whole new genre because a lot of them, you think of the original Halloween, that's horror movie.
Right.
You know, there wasn't a lot of slashing into there.
No.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street was really good. And it's just in order to, well, we got to scare the public a little bit more. So we're going to just make everything more jumps. And then Hellraiser, came out. Clive came out with Hellraiser and everything. It slowly became more of a slasher versus a horror movie until the newer stuff, say like Paranormal Activity came out.
Exactly.
That was an interesting take. Or the Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally different.
What are some of your, what rank up there? Or
I mean, my favorite horror movie of the last, It Follows is good. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but I love You're Next. I really like that movie.
Oh, I know I've seen that.
Oh, it's so
but
good.
it's been a while.
Oh, I love that. You're Next.
Yeah. No, I know it. I just know.
How does the chat feel about You're Next?
We'll have to find out.
You're Next.
I like stuff like that. I know the first movie that freaked me out as a kid, and I don't think I've watched it all the way through. And it's one of those movies, even to this day, I'm like, yeah, I don't really have a need to watch it, is The Exorcist.
Yeah.
You know, that came out when I was a kid. Like, late 70s, right, Dennis?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild because people were like, they had all these reports of people like having to leave the theater.
Yes.
Because they were too freaked out.
Yeah.
And that added so much to that movie. Because when you finally see it, you're like, I don't why. But for the time, it was pretty wild.
For the time,
even just the language, you know, people were freaked out by the language. Like,
well,
your
then another one
stuck
that freaked
caught
me
in
out.
hell.
Another one that freaked me out as a kid, but now I'm like, because I recognize so many of the actors as an adult. Was Poltergeist as a kid freaked me out.
Yeah.
See, and that was actually going to be one of mine. That is one of my favorites. Don't know why of all time. Maybe it was because we turned it into a drinking game when every time they said Carol Ann, you had to, take a drink. But that was a great one, particularly at the end, when you start seeing when they're freaking out, all the stuff's coming up, all the dead bodies coming up out of the ground. Oh,
that's what freaked me out.
Awesome.
That's because wasn't it when the dead bodies were coming up out of the ground, wasn't the person in a pool? And they started coming up.
They had the pools and they started popping up out of the pool in the backyard.
Yeah, that murky dead body water. But a lot of those effects for those creatures were actually done underwater. That's why you get that. You remember that creature that everything was these tendrils that was filmed underwater. That's how they got that movement.
That's cool.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, Hyper Kaijuzan, and he asks, Motel Hell. Thank you. That is one of my classics.
See, I remember that too, but it just it's not popping really strong visuals in my head, but I remember the name and everything.
The Motel Hell was awesome because it was an interesting, almost like a whodunit, the sheriff. And I have not seen this since, I was a kid. That was probably like 1980. And the cool thing was all the people that were disappearing, they were farming them basically. So in the backyard where, behind the hotel or motel, it was, there were heads. They had little things on there and they would pop off the head. And the people were all sitting there going, and they were farming them. And it was the coolest thing ever. It stuck with me because, I would have been 10, 11 at that time. It has stuck with me I've never seen it since, but I had seen it that first time and it's always stuck with me. So that is an awesome one.
What year was that?
I'll look it up. I'm thinking it was around 1980.
Did you guys ever see horror movies in the drive-in? Are you guys around for the drive-in?
Oh yeah, we had a drive-in in town, but see the problem is I've never seen a horror movie in a drive-in. In the town I grew up in, we did have a drive-in, but by the time I was old enough to like drive myself there, this is like 1985, 86.
Yeah.
The drive-in, dude, this is hysterical. Totally went just adult films. I'm dead
How
serious.
did that work?
That's what they played at it.
There's like all these teenagers on the hill with like
no, because where the drive-in was, it was kind of set back, so there really wasn't like a hill or anything. Like the only way you could really see the screen is if you drove through into it. You couldn't drive by and be like, "Oh, what the hell?" You couldn't see anything like that. But it became they just did like adult films and stuff.
Wow. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
1980. I pulled it up.
1980.
Hell is 1980.
See, the original It with Tim Curry, I got to be honest, it wasn't that. It really wasn't that scary to me.
I remember being really grossed out by The Incredible Melting Man. You ever see that?
No.
The Incredible Melting Man. It was really gross.
That had to be a 19.
This guy goes out into outer. This astronaut comes back and he goes through some like radiation belt, and he comes back and he's just his whole face, his whole body starts melting. He's like walking around. These parts of him falling off.
That had to.
It's
be
more of a gross out. It's more of a gross. It wasn't really scary.
But what year? Like that had to be 50s or 60s.
That was 70s.
Right?
Yeah.
It was 70s.
Yeah. Well, I was 18 in 1980. So
okay.
I was already.
See, I saw a movie, and I can't remember the name of it. It was black and white, and it was basically how it honestly could have been The Man with the X-Ray Eyes, because it was one of those hokey names. Yeah. But the scene that is burned into my brain, kind of like Dennis was saying with Motel Hell, is towards the end of the movie, he just can't take it anymore because he can't control it. So he's literally, whenever he can't close his eyes because he sees through stuff. And I think as the movie progresses, it just gets worse and worse. So he's just seeing through multiple layers of stuff. And the scene I remember is he walks into like, it was one of those, it was like an outdoor, it was like a church, but it was in a tent. And he walks into it and he just can't take it. And he just freaks out and he claws his eyes out.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, that is so disgusting. Oh. And then there was another movie I remember as a kid. And it was just titled, it was about a guy that it was about a young teen, old teen, early 20s. I can't remember how it happened, but something happens and he literally transforms into a snake. And it was just called like just a bunch of S's, if I remember right.
I think I heard of that. Yeah.
Dude, the special effects of this cat turning into the snake just freaked me out so much as a kid. Because like literally his legs started like melding together and stuff.
Oh,
and
they have to have that on YouTube.
I'll have to hold on.
Absolutely.
I'll look. I'm gonna look. You got
it's like the transformation scene in The Howling. I mean, it's so ridiculous, but I love to watch it.
All right, let me see. Oh, the transformation scene.
Yeah. It's the same guy that did the Swamp Witch in Legend. It's really, really creepy.
Okay, I think I found it. If I found it, I'll share the screen. It was called, so it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 S's. It came out in 1973.
Sounds
a college student becomes a lab assistant to a scientist who's working on a serum that can transform humans into snakes. So hold on, I'm gonna pause it.
Finally,
we're gonna play the trailer. Hold on.
Oh my! I've never heard of this.
Oh, dude, this movie. So it came out in 1973, dude. I saw this shit when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Of course, it freaked me out.
Probably gonna freak me out now.
Well, we'll find out. Let's see.
There it is.
All right, hold on. Let me full screen this bad boy. Let's see the trailer.
All right, here we go.
You guys hear it?
Once this motion picture sinks its fangs,
that guy.
You'll never be the same.
Oh, that girl.
Don't say
Dude, I remember this.
Don't say it. Hiss it. Don't say it. Hiss it.
Don't say it.
What the hell are you doing here? Get out! Get out!
Oh, that guy.
Oh, they're not going to show the transformation at all.
Well, no, they are. Watch.
Wait, you remember this?
No, I just.
Look, that creep.
There you go.
He was like crawling and stuff.
There you go. Here we go.
God.
I love you.
Your face.
What about it?
It looks different.
Is that Dirk Benedict?
Oh, I remember this.
Something for me, I know it.
Oh, no.
King Cobra versus Mongoose, or is it man versus man? The most unusual horror film ever made. See it.
Oh, damn it! They didn't.
See it. Yeah, that did
it
really
was
well.
so
I think.
freaky.
Yeah. It's a
Oh
real
my
blockbuster.
God, that is awesome. I actually have to find that because that was Dirk Benedict. That's why I was like,
Was it?
wait, no way.
Yeah?
That was Dirk Benedict because I was like, oh my God, that's Starbuck. And then
Right.
that guy that was in there, what was his name? Tim Connor. He played
I've seen it.
Buck Rogers. He played
Right.
the head
Buck
guy from
Rogers.
Buck Rogers.
Right.
Oh.
So I have never seen that. I've never even heard of that. So I've got to see that now.
Dude, when he changes, well, the funny thing is too, if I remember correctly, and Dennis, if you dig it out, I'll watch it because I got to see how bad it is now. But I'm pretty sure when he finally changes into a snake, the funny part is he shrinks as well because he's just like the size of a, they probably use like a python or something. But you would think if a human literally did transform, if they did that movie again, he'd be huge.
Yeah.
Girth wise, he'd still be
Yep.
the same dimension around or whatever. So
I'm looking it up right now.
like
So
that.
it's 1973. It's Dirk Benedict and Tim O'Connor. That was the guy.
What guy?
He was the guy from Buck Rogers.
Who's the old-
but what
who's the
guy
old
in
guy?
the trailer is Tim O'Connor?
He's
old guy?
Well, I'll
Remember
show
the
you
old guy?
the picture.
He's been in lots
Like-
of good stuff.
Oh wow. My whole thing just went wonky here. I was actually going to pull up Tim O'Connor. And I'll see if it'll pop
Oh
up.
yeah, yeah, I can see it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Has anyone seen Devil Dog: The Hound of Hell? I have not. Anyone?
Wow.
Devil
Did you ever
Dog:
watch,
Hound of Hell?
Sounds good though.
Yeah, I've
No,
seen
not
that.
heard of it. So I was going to say one of the classics that I considered a horror movie, and I'll be curious to see if you agree. I think it was like 1968. It was just before I was born, but I remember seeing it. Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm.
That freaked me out too, man.
Yep, because it was that, and I remember seeing that and Amityville Horror. The
Oh,
original
dude.
one. And I was like,
yeah, I saw that. That was creepy.
Amityville was another one as a kid that I was like, oh shit, that is way too freaky for me.
Yeah. It was weird. Rosemary's Baby with the Mia Farrow
yeah.
and that guy.
Was there a
Who's that
scene in
dude?
Rosemary's
Famous.
Baby where you're looking at like the bassinet, but you only see this creepy little hand stick its hand out?
Yeah, it was like a hand or a claw. And, and
No, you're thinking, there was another movie called It's Alive, which is about a mutated baby who's born and he just starts killing people. It's Alive. Oh, it's creepy as F.
I don't remember that one.
It's Alive.
title
Check it out.
seemed-
Pull it up.
I will. The title sounds very familiar, but
It's Alive. It's like this baby monster. And he's
It's
like killing people.
Alive.
He's like ripping people's throats out. He's got these claws because he's born to. It's like he's just born deformed, I guess.
oh god, yeah, he's
It's
freaky as hell
alive.
looking. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
1974.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
weird.
dude. I do remember.
It's a
let's
good
see.
example of the 70s horror movie for sure.
I want to see if we can find the trailer. There's the
And it's like
trailer.
the sound they used for the baby crying was so creepy, man.
Hold on, I'll play it.
Oh, I thought you were
on.
going to say
It's
They Live.
Alive.
Rowdy Roddy Piper and
Yeah,
They
that's good
Live.
too. But It's Alive is in a category of its own. Like, who thought of that? We'll have a baby killing people.
Well,
I
there
guess
was
it
a
had to
movie.
be done before. Oh yeah, this
There-
guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, here, hold on.
That's the
let's-
father, and he's trying to get rid of this freaky demonic baby who keeps ripping people's throats. It's alive.
It's alive.
So the baby kills adults.
Alive.
How sad is it when a baby kills you?
It's alive.
It is.
It's alive.
We know.
Anxious to be the one to do it.
It's alive.
I know.
Look at
It's
all these guys
alive.
opening fire on a baby.
Oh, you haven't seen the baby yet. You'd open fire on it too.
How this thing
Oh, no, I
happened,
saw a little
it's
picture
really
of
a
it
matter
before I
of
opened this.
speculation, and I think
I don't know,
perhaps
man.
that's
Pretty
after
freaky.
all. If we find
It's
out
really
that the
weird
cause
practical effects. but-
manufacturer had
Show
it
the
was a
That
baby.
minute-
dude's
long
goatee.
period of time on it.
What do your interests recommend?
Absolute destruction.
What is this? What kind of trailer is this?
This is the trailer.
I just it's so terrible.
It went down
5
the
minutes
storm.
of conversation.
That's how it can travel the length of the city without anybody seeing it.
Yeah, you use the sewers.
Oh, gross.
Smart little bugger.
He looks familiar.
Yeah, he's being in stuff.
Touch me.
Usually plays a bad guy though.
You stole my baby. Get down. Did you see it? Did you see? What does it look like?
Whether
I assume it
Put
bites
the cameras
people.
out of my face, please. I got no comment. I had nothing to do with this. Will you get that?
why don't they show the baby?
Get that out of my face.
No, that's what we're waiting for.
Show the baby.
These guys are awful shots, I can tell you that.
Exposed to radioactivity
Geez, he actually showing the movie?
or
Oh,
undergone.
I think they're
yeah.
from
She's
Police
had a
Academy.
she's had a rough day.
Can't rule out genetic damage.
They're not going to show the baby. They want to get you in the theater.
Yeah, well, there's another one, I think. It's horrible and it's awesome. Same
I've
time.
already cautioned the police about excessive violence. If it could be dispatched with a bullet, or better still, some kind of a gas. Undoubtedly, it is very small, and any kind of bodily harm, especially from gunshots or explosives.
In other words, you want me to sign away the body. Is that it?
Well, it's your right. After all, you are the child's father.
And she doesn't, of course. He can't be killed.
Guys, stop well.
That was the
How dare
worst
they.
trailer.
Wow, that was
It didn't
horrible.
show the baby at all.
Not at
No,
all.
but here, hold on.
Showed
Guy
the
Stockwell is Soylent Green.
You mean this baby? I assume it's this thing right here. Is that it?
baby. That's it. Hello, sweetie.
Wow.
Yeah, it had big claws like talons,
Look at that
and
thing.
it was in fact alive. Imagine.
Oh,
I have no idea how she survived that.
I don't know
that
how.
would have
Yeah,
been a
exactly.
big draw on that whole trailer just to see that.
Yeah.
I know. Exactly. No, but Amityville Horror, that was another one that really freaked me out as a kid.
Me too. Absolutely. all the-
And then
the
did you ever
flies.
see the Ryan Reynolds remake?
I think so.
It was
It
all right.
didn't have the same charm,
Nope.
but apparently people keep visiting that house, so they changed its appearance.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't
mean,
have
that
those very distinctive windows where the pig was looking out of. It's all horseshit anyway. Come on.
I know, but still, if somebody told me right now, you can have this house for free, it's
Okay.
all yours, we even pay your movie expenses, I'd say no.
Mm.
I wouldn't live in it. I don't care.
No, I wouldn't either, actually.
No,
I really
wouldn't
wouldn't.
live in it. Dennis, would you?
Because you're a believer.
Would you live in it, Dennis?
Nope, because I am a believer. I said, like, I got to visit Robert the Doll this last week. One of
I
the
don't even know
most
what that is.
haunted places in America.
Now you're
And
just
actually
making
got
words
my
up.
picture taken with it. The same Robert the Doll that I had told you earlier. Ozzy Osbourne, he dissed him and he wound up canceling his tour and everything. And he attributed it to Robert the Doll and he almost died. And so, you know, I'm a believer in this stuff. Now, there only a little bit of stuff happened on the tour, but I am.
Yeah,
I'm a
that
believer. I
is
think
pretty
it's-
weird though. I must admit that's
Wait,
pretty weird.
What do you mean only a little bit of stuff happened on the tour?
So you got kind of like you got these PK meters, kind of like in Ghostbusters, and if something registers and your LEDs would light up, and then they have like the divining rods, those copper rods, and they'll spin like if you're looking for water or spirits. So you're walking around in there, and then when they would call it, every once in a while, somebody's meter would start going off. I actually he gave me a semi-working red flashlight, and I got to go into I think it was like 1845 when it was built. There was a hospital in the middle of the fort, and I got to go up to the stairs by myself and walk through it, and then there was a circular set of stairs that came down where I would join everybody by the Sistine. And of course, I'm walking by myself and I can hear the people downstairs, and it's cool, a little scary because you're by yourself in there and it's really damp. And all of a sudden my meter starts going off and stuff like that. And we're like, whoa.
Oh, no.
And my sister-in-law, she was on the tour with us. She walked down and I got pictures of it. I'll show it to you when I see it next. But it's kind of like Predator, where you see your body heat going down. And you could see her in this, it's a black room and it shows up black and you see her body heat going down. And they start calling down the hallway. If anybody's down there, we've got somebody coming down, whatever happens, come on out, join the party, basically, come on out. And then all of a sudden, you can still see your body heat. And then all of a sudden, the screen starts turning blue around her like it's a blue mist. So I actually took a picture of the screen when she got in this blue mist, and then it disappeared and like her meter went off. So it was like, whoa, is that something? We couldn't see it with the naked eye, but you could see it on the screen.
Wow.
Oh, that's
right.
Trippy, man.
And
yeah, especially when you witness it.
The doll that inspired Chucky is what one of the rumors is, and it was really cool.
That sounds awesome, man. Do you guys remember that movie where this kid digs a hole in his backyard and all these demons come out?
No. You got a name? No.
Oh, man. I don't remember something in the yard. I don't know. This guy.
Do you remember really the movie? Here's another movie. There's a definitive scene in it that another movie I won't forget. Do you remember the movie I Spit on Your Grave?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you remember when she gets into the tub with the guy and they're in the tub together, and he's thinking, oh, it's going to be a great time. And then she reaches out. Because I think the guy's like, she's like, I'll take care of everything or whatever. So he's just kicked back. His eyes are closed. And she reaches under the bath mat, pulls out a knife, goes under the water, and you just hear
yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a revenge.
Another one. I was like, are you kidding me? Come on. Just kill me.
Oh, man.
You don't need to be cutting anything off.
It's been years. Oh, yeah.
Michael
I love a good revenge flick.
The Gate? Let me search.
Let me think about it. Yeah, The Gate. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Michael absolutely.
It
was awesome.
Guys, you said it too.
Yeah. 1987. Kids left home alone accidentally unleash a horde of malevolent demons.
Malevolent.
Shut up, Dennis. Demons from a mysterious hole in their suburban backyard. That's not that old. 1987. I'm actually kind of surprised I never saw it.
Maybe 87 sounds late.
I know.
That's what it
maybe
says.
it's a remake. No, I don't. They never remade it. But anyway, the creatures are really kind of cool. It was all stop motion. It was all like pretty well done stop motion. It was really creepy.
Dude, I want to watch the trailer because Stephen Dorff was in it.
Oh yeah, really? As a kid, you're right. As a little boy, you're right.
Yes,
holy shit.
That's why I want to see this. Hold on, I'll share it in a second.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that. I think it's a Canadian movie. It was made in Canada.
Is Stephen Dorff Canadian?
I think he is. I don't know.
All right, hold on.
Well, I hope it's better than the Toxic Avenger.
I remember it was like on rotation on the movie network.
Behind which the demons await to take back what was
I want to hire
once
that
theirs.
guy for my video.
Hold on. Which one of those kids is Stephen Dorff?
You'll see.
Now, someone has opened the gate.
The gate.
This is weird tearing sound. Decomposed corpse of her dead father.
Oh no.
There he is.
Tearing air
That's him.
out of the hand.
That kid.
I'm calling the police.
Ew.
See? Ah.
You got
The gate.
You got demons.
Oh, I mean, you guys are serious about that demon stuff? Demons? What kind?
You've been bad.
Oh, look at these creepy little guys.
They have opened the gate. Pray. It's
has
not.
Yeah, that's totally 80s, man. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those full painted posters. Awesome.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that was a
They-
good one. There was a lot of good ones. I used to watch so many movies just because they were on rotation on the new movie network.
Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah.
Chad says Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
That was a thing. Yeah, it was absolutely a thing.
Well, you remember the Blob from the 50s?
The Blob. That was
You know,
good.
Oh, my God. My wife is texting me for some reason.
Are you sure you're live? Whose channel is this
Huh?
on?
Mine.
Explain yourself. Who's okay? I can't see it on
Well,
my
it's on the
feed,
Dennis
though.
and Andy show. It's on the Dennis
Oh.
and Andy show. I've got my channel, and then Dennis.
Oh,
and we
okay.
have our.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got two
Cool.
channels. I've got
That's
mine,
fancy.
and then Dennis and Andy show has its own channel as well.
But I mean, when I was a kid, it was all about Ray Harryhausen.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Well, dude, even
The
still,
stop motion, man. I was so into
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like I used to watch so much of that, like Jason and the Argonauts
Yep.
and
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Clash
I
of the
love
Titans,
that
yeah.
stuff. I would go by myself to the Saturday matinee and just sit there and watch these Ray Harryhausen movies and
Yes.
Planet of the Apes. And I think I saw the Munsters movie once.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Remember
no,
the
I didn't
Munsters
see that.
movie? It
do.
freaked me out because we had black and white television, and I was weird. It was weird. It kind of creeped me out that they were actually green, because it's black and white television. You think maybe they're kind of gray, but in the movie they're green, and it's like, why would they make like that's more like an alien color, not a monster
Right.
color? But I guess back in the 50s they made monsters green, so that kind of freaked me out. But it was weird because I remember when I first saw colored television. That's how old I am. Like black and white my whole life. And all of a sudden my cousins had a colored television and I was like, just mesmerized. I couldn't believe it. Like, wow, colored. Like it was freaky. Like I'm talking like 6-7 years of all my childhood. I had black and white television.
We had,
That's
I think we always had, so, you know, I was born in 69. And from my earliest memory, I do remember the color TV, but that was the bigger one downstairs.
Yep.
And it was a big console. But then upstairs, we had a small little black and white.
yeah.
So if
Yep.
my dad was
How
watching
many,
something.
How
That's
many
what it
how many
was.
channels?
Oh,
how many
no, it
channels
was
did you
before
guys-
cable. We just had,
Six.
Yeah.
6 channels.
but see, you grew up in Canada. So
Yeah,
down
one channel.
here,
And then we
Well-
got 3 channels, and oh my god, 3 channels.
what did you guys do? What did your TV, what did your networks or whatever you say do overnight? Because I can still remember here at, say, I don't know what time it was. I'll just say from 1 a.m. to like 6
Yeah, the,
a.m. It was
test
just it was like the American flag or something.
Yeah, and then there's a
That-
test pattern, like
Yeah,
Yes.
or a test
And
pattern.
it goes, yes.
and that's
exactly.
basically to wake you up when you fall asleep or you're drunk in front of the television.
Yeah.
Wake
And then at like
up.
6 a.m.,
Yeah.
Sesame Street and the news would come on and all
Dun,
that stuff.
dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep. No, my dad would fall asleep. We had a Zenith console TV downstairs.
Dude,
and I
so
could
do
always
we.
tell
Zenith.
in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
It was a Zenith,
famous
or as
Zenith.
they'd say up there, a Zenith. And if you would hear the Stars and Stripes going, I'm like, oh, Dad fell asleep. He's downstairs in front of the
Yeah,
TV.
exactly.
Yep.
You'd hear it go off. But yeah, our other ones were all black and white, but we had that one nice color, big console, 26-inch Zenith.
Yeah, and you had the color just cranked.
Oh
You
yeah.
got to get
yeah.
as much color as you possibly can.
So
Oh,
the
my
cool
dad was
thing
so my dad was so finicky. Nobody would touch the color adjustments. And this is back, the color adjustments were the little knobs at the bottom for contrast and whatever.
Yeah.
Brightness, tint. Nobody would touch them. And my dad would always be like, get up and go adjust that. And I'll tell you when to stop turning the knobs.
The tint knob.
And we'd have to adjust it. And he'd be like, all right, that's good. And then I swear to God, turn the TV off. Next day, he'd be like, oh, you got to adjust it again. What did you do? And it's like, we haven't done anything.
Yeah, exactly. And then they had those television shows where like it was a very special episode of All in the Family.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any music, but there'd just be the white lettering. And every time it popped on the screen, it would be
Yeah.
on a very special all, like when Edith got raped.
Whoa, what?
Sorry.
Wow, that went dark.
That
really
episode
quick.
where Edith got raped. It was horrible. I remember as a child, I was like, what
Wait,
is
I don't
doing?
remember that.
I don't
There
want to
was
watch
an episode-
Edith get raped.
There was an
Oh,
episode of All in the Family.
Yeah. Edith got like this guy broke in and he was going to rape Edith.
No
And then
way.
he didn't rape her. She got away, but it was really the weirdest episode of All in the Family I've ever seen. Look
God,
it up. Look it up. All in the Family. Edith gets raped almost. It's an
I hope
attempt
Archie
rape.
took
It's
him out.
horrible. No, he got away.
Oh,
Archie was
God.
next door at his daughter's house.
Oh my God. All right, what about Saturday morning cartoons?
We didn't get a lot.
Oh,
We
no?
got but I liked them. The ones we got I really liked. But we didn't. I remember looking at finding out how many cartoons Americans had and feeling very ripped off because we had like a couple of cartoons. Of course, every year. Here's how desperate I was for cartoons. Every year when the Peanuts Christmas special came on, I was like, "Oh, Christmas!" It's horrible. Like that's how little entertainment we had up there.
Really? So like the cartoons that we had down here during that time, Space Ghost, stuff like that.
No, we didn't get
go up
that.
there?
We didn't
Really?
get. Remember, they had the twins and they turn into like matching creatures.
Form of
like what was that form of the?
Oh, are you talking about the Wonder Twins?
The Wonder Twins.
Yeah, Wonder Twins.
Yeah, they
Oh,
had the
well,
brains.
one.
Right, Wonder Twins.
The dude wasn't it the dude that could only change into water?
She could change into animals, and he could change into something, a bucket of water, a bucket of ice.
Right. That was like it. It had to be something water. The lamest shit ever.
Yeah, it's very specific. I don't know where that would come in
but
handy.
Super Friends with the Wonder Twins.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, I liked and I still like the costume designs. They're so
I do
simple.
too. I was going to say they're amazing.
Yes.
They're like the best of all the cartoon.
That was one of the things where I was like, they did them for the cartoon only. And then in some episodes or in some of the Super Friends comics, they finally brought him in, but not really. And I was so much like, damn it, I want to see the Wonder Twins. And the other Super Friend that was one of my favorites was Black Vulcan.
Oh
yeah.
I love Black Vulcan.
And Apache Chief.
And Apache Chief. Oh wait, there's another one too. Who's the Asian dude? Come on, you know who I'm talking about. He had the green with
that goes back a long ways.
Yeah, come on.
I know we didn't really get that show.
Oh,
I saw that show later.
What about Thundar?
Yeah, they're asking about
Thundar.
if you'd seen Thundar.
Kind of.
Thundar the Barbarian. With
I've heard of that.
And Ariel, and then he had the cool sword that it was
Yes.
built and it would bring out the cool, yeah.
See, I remember Hong Kong Phooey, but I didn't get into
I
Hong
was
Kong
a
Phooey.
huge Hong Kong Phooey fan. I've actually going back now and picking up the comic books.
Right.
Are you really?
Yes. I picked up #1 and several of the other ones. I'm going to get them all now.
Oh, by the way, hold on. You guys talk. I got to show Dennis something.
Uh-oh.
Did you ever did you grow up with like nothing but the Flintstones?
Yeah.
Like, oh God, so much Flintstones. Like the school would have the Flintstones at lunch hour, and I'd come home and watch the Flintstones. I just don't like the Flintstones. I just can't watch the Flintstones.
DC did it where they brought the Flintstones and they adultized it.
Right.
And it was interesting what they tried to do. They were saying like the Jetsons, because that was always right in there, and I love the Jetsons.
Yeah, we never got the Jetsons. We got the Flintstones.
Oh my God,
too much
really?
Flintstones, not enough Jetsons.
See, it was Samurai. His name was just Samurai.
Okay, that's makes sense.
Now, Dennis, I do have 2 of these, so it looks like you're buying one off me.
Oh, you did have 2 of it.
What?
This is Hanna-Barbera TV stars from the early 70s, Marvel. It has a Dino Mutt story with Blue Falcon, but it's got a Space Ghost story drawn by Alex Toth.
Right.
So I didn't know, and it has a Herculoid story too. So the last convention Dennis and I went to, I bought this, and I was like, I might already have it, but I'll buy it. And Dennis is like, well, if you have it, I'll buy it off you. So all yours, buddy.
Oh, look at that. That is awesome. I mean, Space Ghost, the Herculoids. I mean, that is just classic stuff right there.
Are you an Alex Toth fan, Dale?
I discovered Alex later. It wasn't like one of those artists that I knew about, but yeah,
right.
Now I am,
Yeah, that's what I meant now.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't discover Alex Toth until
I
knew about Space Ghost and Super Friends as a kid, but I didn't really start getting into Alex Toth until I was a professional artist. And then I looked at it and I was like, my God, this stuff is just so good.
I did meet look at that.
There's the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, baby. The entire box set DVD of them. This was one of the greatest cartoons of its era. Tell me did you get this up in Canada?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But I'm a different generation. I completely all this stuff like He-Man and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't even around. Like I didn't watch TV for like 5 years. And
when He-Man came out, you said you were 18 in 1980. He-Man came out. You were in your early 20s. Why did you even watch it?
I
Dale's like, I'm not watching He-Man. I'm trying to get.
I was
already,
doing some of that.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas we were 12 and 13, so we were way into it still. So
Joel's asking, Dale, did you see any of the early Japanese anime in Canada, like Star Blazers or Battle of the Planets?
No, not when I was younger. No. Well, when was that? Like 80s? It's 80s, right? We're talking about 80s. No.
Yeah.
No, the 80s. I never watched. I didn't watch a lot of television.
So when did you? Let's switch over to music because I'm curious. When did you start playing? Do you only play? Is that because I don't know? Is that a bass or is that a guitar that you have?
Or this is a guitar. Yeah, this is a 6-string.
So when did you start playing? And did you teach yourself or?
No, I remember I started playing bass because I was so into Kiss. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to be. I wanted to be
Hell
Gene Simmons. So that's why I started playing bass because of Gene Simmons.
Oh, sweet.
And so that was my first instrument. It was just a shitty bass I got. I just sort of didn't even know how to hold it. And then I graduated to better basses. And, you have like your high school band and stuff, and then I went on the road and played a bunch of like cover tunes, like Bryan Adams and a lot of Supertramp.
Did you teach yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. No, actually, I took lessons from this guy. And he was like, my mom said, well, you should get lessons. I said, yeah, mother knows best. So she paid for these lessons and I would show up at this guy's house. He had like long hair and he had a toque. And the place smelled funny, He'd go, come on in, little buddy. Let me show you some riffs. And he was like, it just smelled like incense and weed. I didn't know what weed smelled like, but he showed me. He was really cool. He showed me just enough to get started, so I know how to hold it.
Yeah.
And then the rest is just, you just enjoy playing music and just get better. Like drawing, if you enjoy it, you're just going to get better. So you're going to do it a lot.
But I assume you know how to read music then, or
no.
Oh no. So then when you learn, okay, because
it's all ear.
The only thing I ever did, and I will admit that I do regret not continuing, but I took it in elementary school because my parents were like, you should take music. You should take music. So I learned how to play trumpet. Right. And
that's me. I'm sorry about the sirens.
What's that?
You can hear the sirens.
That's okay. Yeah. So I learned how to play trumpet, and honestly, it's something that, looking back on it, I wish I would have continued through middle school and high school, and just because I did for a while there, I listened to jazz when I worked.
Yeah.
And I really like the way trumpet sounds, but oh well.
Can't you just go over to saxophone? That's a little bit more practical. Saxophone is cooler than a.
Well, that's true.
It is.
But when it comes to guitar, if you don't know how to read music, then how do you learn how to play, the different songs and stuff?
Well, it's just all by ear,
Yanni.
Look at Yanni. You just go. You just listen to it and you try it, and if it doesn't sound like it, you keep trying. And plus, now check it out. Now, there's so many lessons on YouTube. It's crazy. Like, I've learned songs in the last 5 years that I never knew how to play before, just because some guy figured it out on YouTube. It's amazing.
What would you say is the hardest song that you know how to play?
I don't know if I play hard songs. I might be choosing the easy ones because, dude, there's some amazing guitar playing out there. And I'm not a shredder. I'm just a rhythm player,
Okay.
But anything that's like a lot of picking, like metal, that's hard because it's like you can do it for like a minute, like a half a second, but can you do it for a whole song? If you look at James Hetfield, James Hetfield is all downstrokes. You know that? Like, usually when they play guitar, it's like up, down, but he's all downstrokes, and he lasts all night. His wrists must be made of like robotic or something, because it's amazing.
So what's your favorite? What's your favorite metal band?
I don't know. I bounce around, It's like one week it'll be Mudvayne, and then it'll be like Hell Yeah, and then it'll be like old like Priest. But I listen to a lot of classic rock though, like Priest. I was so into Queensryche.
I love Priest.
I was so into Queensryche.
Dude, I love Queensryche.
Mindcrime.
Yeah, Mindcrime, exactly. That's like the best. Probably the best concept album ever.
Yes. It is my favorite album of all time, hands down. I had gone to see Metallica Queensryche, and Queensryche had opened up for him. And after 30 minutes, all the Metallica fans booed him off the stage. Jeff Tate and Chris DeGarmo came onto the stage and basically flipped everybody off, said, "Fuck you guys," and then they took off. And then so Metallica came out to play extra songs, but I had actually gone there to see Queensryche, and Mindcrime. They were doing Mindcrime in its entirety.
Yeah, they do it to a T.
Man, was I pissed! I still am pissed to this day.
Oh man, no makeup show.
No. No, God, if you want makeup, since you brought up Kiss.
Oh, okay. Man,
I saw Kiss pre-makeup, during makeup days, and then I saw them when they decided they were going to lose them and see how ugly they really were.
Well, you probably had a lot more bands coming through where you lived.
Yeah.
They came up to Canada, but we'd have to go to like the next biggest city. I did that. I would like take a bus to go see Nugent. Yeah, there was like a thing where it was like a Rainbow. It was like Pat Travers, Rainbow, and Ted Nugent. That was quite a show.
See, now Dennis has been to a shit ton of concerts. It sounds like you've been to a good amount. I can admit I can count the amount of concerts I've been to probably on two hands. And the two I remember, I saw Scorpions. I saw Billy Idol. And then I'm kind of blanking, but I know I've seen more. But
Yeah.
anyhow, so I just, I'm just not a big concert guy. I'd rather just put
Yeah.
a CD in at home.
I see, and I love going to concerts. I don't like live albums. That's the funny thing.
Right.
Like the Tesla Great White concert was a great one. See, where we lived, an hour south of us was Alpine Valley, so it was a huge outdoor amphitheater. And then to the north, up in Green Bay, there was Brown County Arena, which was a general admission. I love the general admissions more because I always fought my way to the front. Sometimes got bruised or cracked ribs and stuff. But man, you're in that. You can't call it a mosh pit, but man, you are just up front there, and it's just great. But like the Tesla Great White concert, that's where I had gotten Jack Russell took his hat off and threw it into the audience, his Marlboro hat, and I got it.
You got it? Wait.
You got it. Really?
Dennis told me this though. The dude, Dennis, fought over girls to get it. He literally got scratches because he reached up. Because Dennis is a tall dude. He's 6'2". He reached up so he could get it away from chicks, man.
No. That's not quite, man. That's an Andy story. That's bullshit coming out of your mouth.
Oh, please.
He threw his hat out there. I reached up and grabbed it, and I got it. And I was like, oh, my God, I missed all the guitar picks, but I got the Marlboro hat.
Yeah.
All of these women, so remember, this is, 80s women. They had their long fingernails. They all reached out with, like, fangs and claws, and they start snagging in there. Blood's gushing out of my hand because they're trying to claw this thing away. I was in the second row. Heather was in front of me, and she's like, just shove it down my pants, because she had her jeans on there, and she goes, I'll put it in there. So I did. I literally shoved them down her pants, and I was fighting off all these girls. I still have a couple of scars that are permanent because they dug in so deep with their things. All this over Jack Russell's hat.
Oh, I can totally see that happening. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, man, we had a great time. I mean, we were so close in the Kiss concert that when they do these awesome pyrotechnics, I mean, I'm like, we were sitting there. My buddy Chad, who he was on earlier, he's at work right now, but we were up there, and when those pyrotechnics went up, it's like you're burning off your eyebrows.
Oh, absolutely.
We were so close. It was awesome.
Oh, they use so much fire, man.
Oh,
yes.
Like, remember, if you look at the album, you open up the Kiss Alive 2, it's just all fire.
Yes.
It's just crazy how much fire they can use. And they must be good at it, because nothing ever catches on fire except Ace once, I think. Somebody caught on fire.
They were fun. They were fun.
I wish I'd seen them. They're like my favorite band when I was like 14. I even built a Kiss boot. I remember I bought one of those high-heeled, like cork heeled boots, right?
Yeah.
And I bought two of them. We used to wear them in school. My ankle would always, anyway. So I decided I'll make them into like Gene Simmons demon boots. And I spent like hours working on this boot. I got it perfect. The teeth. I carved pieces of wood and polished them for the eyes. And it was perfect. Wow. This is great. Now I got to build the part that goes up your leg, which is like fish scales, right? And I just went, oh. And I thought, even if I finish this boot, I got to make a whole other one. And I just completely lost my energy. So now there's one single Kiss boot in my parents' basement. People wondering, what the hell is that thing?
One boot.
Oh my God.
One Kiss boot, one demon boot. I was so proud of that thing. Yeah, it was all paper mache,
Yeah.
And like silver spray paint. Just a real nerd. But then I had my comic book collection too.
Of course.
Yeah, I wasn't. I tried to join a rock band to cool up, but it didn't really take.
It didn't take.
So
besides playing the guitar, bass, and all that, coming to the band's part of things, do you sing too, or do you just play the?
I can sing. I used to sing a lot of backups because we played. I remember the first band I played. We played a lot of Styx, right?
Oh, Styx! Yeah,
it's Supertramp. And then there's this band in Canada called April Wine. You ever hear those dudes?
Nope.
No. I can know this. It's weird though, because I grew up with all the music you guys grew up with, but there's all these other Canadian bands I grew up with too, and it's like completely obscure to any American. It's like, who's that? It's like so weird. You go, never mind. because that's like a nostalgic connection. So.
Oh, that's cool.
That is
General Piggy.
Cheap Trick. So some of the guys were saying Cheap Trick. They were great.
I want to
I
say
lived in Rockford, so he was from Rockford, and one of the theaters was at the Coronado. Nelson, he's got his own seat there, and it's roped off. Nobody's allowed to sit in there and stuff like that. So yeah, we kind of lived in there, but yeah, they were good in concert.
There's the Budokan was good. I listened to a lot of Budokan. Live at Budokan. Remember that one?
Yeah.
It was like the biggest live album ever. A lot of Styx. But the best concert I ever heard was Def Leppard. It was amazing.
Oh,
it was in the round. I couldn't believe how good it sounded. It was like maybe it was the album. I don't know. It was so good.
Well, yeah, it was before or after the drummer lost his arm?
It was after. Yeah, it was Hysteria.
Okay, Hysteria.
Yeah, it was amazing. And Aerosmith sounded good too. They always sound great.
Yeah,
I love
we had just seen White Snake, and I'm glad we did a couple of years ago with my wife. She went and saw it, and it was funny because she goes, "Oh, they're that one-hit wonder," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, the one
hit. You heard the one song, and then so it's been a running joke ever since. And then their very next song, you mean 2-hit wonders? Oh, 3-hit wonders? Oh, 4-hit wonders, and it just kept going. She goes, "Wow. I didn't remember them having that many hits." I'm like, "Oh yeah, they were great." Well, Coverdale just announced he's no longer going to tour. He'll still produce stuff, but he's turning 70, and he's like, I can't do the tours anymore.
Damn.
No, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but I just saw Alice Cooper, and I'm telling you, for a guy his age, he jumped off the big speakers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how much longer he can do it, but man, he was getting there. Bruce Dickinson, he's coming back for another tour, because I know Tracy and I are probably going to go see him again.
But then Alice Cooper's got that voice. He pretty well have it his whole life. Like he doesn't really have to hit any high notes. But oh my God, I listened to a lot of Alice Cooper. Oh my God. That he had some live album out back in the 70s. I listened to that a lot. A lot of Alice Cooper. And a lot of Kiss. Kiss Alive 1.
Oh, I love Kiss. I still do. I had all their records when I was growing up. Yeah. I can still vividly remember Hotter Than Hell. And on the back, it had the mask you could cut out.
Right. Yeah.
I only bought Paul Stanley solo, though. I didn't buy anybody else's.
I bought Ace. No, I might have bought them all. I bought them all. I was a real collector of Kiss, but I liked Ace's the best. Ace's solo album. Remember that?
Oh, really? Was it better than Paul's?
Back in the New York groove.
Oh, yeah.
I'm back. In.
Okay,
when
so
he was
here's one.
conscious and coherent, he was amazing.
Yeah. I still love Ace. I just like to listen to him talk.
So do you
He's
give
such a weird guitar player?
Do you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the Beastie Boys?
I give a thumbs up.
Oh, Dennis. That was another one just for Dennis, because his wife loves the Beastie Boys, and so do I. And Dennis is like, "Oh, I hate that
family
stuff."
Does. I was never a Beastie Boys a fan. I'll go to Europe. I even went and saw Milli Vanilli before I found out that they were lip syncing. I know.
Hysterical.
Yeah,
that's too
I can't
funny.
help it. No, I'm like Europe, Cinderella, Motley Crue. Matter of fact, we're waiting. They've canceled. They postponed the tour. Joan Jett's opening. It's Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and my sister-in-law. She's also a big fan. We've had tickets, but right at the beginning of COVID, so they pushed it back. Now this is going on the 3rd year, and we're still waiting for them to show up. And I'm crossing my fingers, Mick Mars and can still be healthy enough to do it, because man, it's bummer. I've been waiting for this concert for a long time.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Did you ever see the Motley Crue movie on Netflix that came out a few years ago?
Yeah.
The Dirt.
It's not bad.
The Dirt. You did, right?
I actually liked it better than the Queen movie.
Do you know, Dale, Do you know?
Yeah, I do.
Hold,
It's me.
hold on for a second. Oops. Let me silence that. Okay. Do you know that the actress that played Tommy Lee's mom in The Dirt is Dan Panosian's wife?
What? I
Yep.
did not. I did not know that.
It's sure. Now go back and rewatch it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep, that's Dan Panosian's wife. She's an actress.
Yeah. I think I knew that. I used to
Yep.
talk to Dan all the time on the phone.
Yeah. Yep, that's his wife.
Wow.
Man, just the opening scene of that movie where they're partying in the hotel room.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, this is pretty hardcore.
No, that was real debauchery. I never experienced anything like that.
Oh no.
A little bit, but not like that. I mean, you really got to get into the big times to go into that category.
Sure.
But yeah, it is true that like girls will just sleep with you because you're in a band. It's so weird. I experienced that a little bit. I was like, wait a minute, I'm still the same dork as I was. Why do you want to sleep with me now?
What's up, Don?
Let's go.
Don Chen. That's so funny. I'm looking forward to it. Comes out on Hulu in a couple weeks.
What's that?
On Hulu, they're having a new movie about Tommy and Pam Anderson.
Oh.
And Sebastian Stan, the guy that plays the Winter Soldier, is playing Tommy.
Oh yeah. Who's
and then
playing,
I can't remember the actress playing Pam, but the trailer looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah, I want to check that out. So it's about what happens on the boat, stays on the boat, like what?
Yeah.
What is
a
it?
Sex tape. Yeah.
Oh, it's the whole sex tape making of the.
Well, it's about how the sex tape got leaked
tape.
out because like Seth Rogen's in it, and I'm trying to remember
that. It wasn't that great.
What's that?
I saw the tape.
Oh, the
It's not
sex
that
tape.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just okay.
This is goofy.
But I mean, it was like wasn't that one of the early first celebrity tapes that got
Yeah, it
out
was
there?
like the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then people started releasing stuff on purpose. Like, oh,
Yeah.
oops. Like, there's no way that any kind of phone leak is an accident.
Right.
Like, they
Kim
wanted people
Kardashian.
to see them naked. They want people to see them naked.
Yeah.
Of course they do. They're beautiful. Why wouldn't
yeah. That's it. Lily James is playing Pamela Anderson.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's weird. Yeah. That was a Baywatch. She's Canadian. She's from Vancouver. I
Is she
actually
really?
like her. I like her when she was like when you first saw the first pictures of her, she still had brown hair.
Oh,
Remember
I don't think.
yeah, Pam Anderson had like brown hair. She's really, really attractive. Then she
Oh, I
went
don't
all
remember.
California.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I've ever seen a picture of her brown hair.
Yeah, she had brown hair. Really, really cute as a button, of course.
Is that before the implants too?
Oh yeah, well, probably. She definitely got implants, but I think she had a nice B.
I think she
with
took
a
them
nice
out
B.
though. I think she's gotten them removed.
Yeah.
Somebody. Yeah, I think she did. But, Oh, Joe Bernardo. Seth Rogen's in it. He's out. I'm not a big Seth Rogen fan as of late. Like,
I
like
liked
his
him
movies.
early on, and then I don't
Right.
like him very much anymore. Like I like 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
love that. That's a hilarious movie.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
And then it just kind of went. It made like what's that movie he did where he had the baby?
Oh, wait. The one Knocked Up.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that
Yep.
was good.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
then it kind of
because
just started going
It's
down.
then
a
when they
little
start
bit.
running their mouths in real life, and you're just like,
That's it.
"Oh,
I really
didn't
hate that.
hear you."
There's so many people I used to like. Now it's like, like, I mean, Neil Young, Elvira. I can't like them anymore.
I know.
I want to like them.
And it's okay
But I
to
can't
have
like
an
'em.
opinion, but when you come out to your fans and say, basically, I'm getting rid of the trash and
Joni
you're not
Mitchell.
in the class, and I'm like, wow, Elvira, I mean, how many fans you think you've got? And wow, she lost 50% just like that.
Oh yeah.
Why?
I mean, that was just ridiculous.
Anyway, I got to go. I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I mean, I only got about 10 more minutes anyhow. Helen's making dinner. So everybody watching, my wife's making dinner. Got about 10 more minutes.
So what are you having? What is she making?
She just threw a pizza in. DiGiorno's. It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno's.
But is it the croissant crust? Because if you guys have not had the croissant crust DiGiorno's, you are missing something amazing.
It is not. And we looked for it and they had it, but they only had pepperoni and Helen didn't want that. So
Oh,
I know. I would have gotten it, but she didn't want it. So what are you going to do? But yeah. So that's what she's making.
the writer of Barbaric from Vault Comics told me to burn my Barbaric comics today. Lots of laugh. He got mad because I accused him of virtual signaling.
No
half of them,
way!
that's what they're doing. They're virtual. They are virtual signaling.
What do you say? Now I want to know what he said. Yeah, well,
Like,
you know,
hello.
it is our
gave
show.
Dale permission to go to the bathroom. I recently Elvira meets Vincent Price. It was dreadful. Oh man, I loved Vincent Price.
Oh, I do like Vincent Price.
Seth opened his mouth and called Chris Kyle a Navy SEAL coward, and I hope he's a non-watcher. Yeah.
Bretsky the Great. Stop turning stuff off. Dennis, is that a real room you're in or a green screen? If it's real, that's awesome.
No, it's a real room.
It is.
You'll see it depending on which computer I'm on. I got my comics and some of my Jean Grey display back over here. And then my posters up here. Sometimes you'll see it, and I'll be on one of my other computers, and you'll see my tank stick, my Arcade X tank stick, and then I've got all my D&D and my role-playing books and some of that. Or I can be down by the statue. So it all depends. But no, there's no green screen here. It's all real.
Well, Michael says, how satisfying was it to know DC had to kill Superman to outsell Pitt #1? I don't think that's why they killed Superman, though.
I think that's a great idea. That would be great when he comes back to ask him that. That's a good question.
Hyper Kaiju says, who's the best lady from X-Men and why is it Rogue?
Well, you said best, so it wouldn't be Rogue. It would be Jean Grey. Rogue is #2. And then if you can tell, my Rogue's downstairs. I do have Psylocke. Psylocke's my #3, and then Emma Frost is #4. But yes, Rogue is my #2 behind Jean Grey.
Ah, nice.
So
Very
Michael
nice.
says, Michael says, Dale, how satisfying was it to know DC had to kill Superman to outsell Pitt #1?
Oh man, oh, so awesome. Well, did they actually outsell Pitt? Yeah.
What Superman? Yeah. I guess. What did Pitt #1 sell? Do you remember?
How many?
Well, if you count the newsprint, probably about 1 million.
Cool.
But direct, it was about 700.
That's
700,000,
awesome.
something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good deal. Yeah. I mean, considering how we thought maybe we'd sell 30, in the beginning. I remember McFarlane saying, yeah, if we sell 30,000 copies, we'll be doing good. That's before anything came out.
Oh, yeah.
We thought if any of the Image guys sold 30,000 copies, we'd be doing pretty good. And then.
Yeah.
Joe says, are you related to John Byrne? No, Kieran Dwyer is, though, I think.
Really?
Yeah, Kieran Dwyer.
No.
I thought Kieran Dwyer was his
okay.
Was his
I think I heard something like that.
I thought he was his son-in-law or something from one of the because Byrne's been married a couple times, I think, and I thought Kieran Dwyer was one of his son-in-law or something.
All I know is
maybe that's just
Byrne went to the College School of Art, Calgary School of Art. You ever hear of that place?
Yeah.
And I thought, there's no way I could be a comic book artist unless I went there too, right?
Did you go?
No.
Oh.
But I thought that you had to go to art school to be an artist. It's weird.
No, because you're all self-taught.
I know,
right?
Exactly. But it's just like you just keep doing it and copying Byrne and then realizing I don't want to copy Byrne anymore. Oh, who's this? Wrightson, nice. I'll put a little bit of Wrightson in there. Oh, Barry Windsor Smith, nice. So eventually,
see, that's
hopefully,
funny.
you'll get your own style.
I never would have thought that you did. So you're saying you actually tried doing some Barry stuff for a while?
I watched a lot of Barry Windsor Smith. I mean, I looked at a lot of his stuff.
I don't really see it in any period of your work.
No, I'm not saying I don't think I draw like him, but I remember I used to just watch how he would just. There was so much detail going on and such great black spotting that I looked at a lot of his stuff. But most of it was me just sort of trying to copy. Oh, it was awful. Bernie Wrightson. Because I was so blown away by Bernie Wrightson. I didn't discover Bernie Wrightson until much later.
Yeah.
So I already had this certain style. And as soon as I started drawing like Wrightson, it's just, I don't know if my drawing got better, but I'm glad I did it because where I am now, I can still sort of use those Wrightson influences the way, just the way he would make things so lush. And I was looking at so much Wrightson at the time that I was trying to do it, but I couldn't do Wrightson.
I mean, some of that early stuff. But
it's weird when you're young, you're just trying to merge all these different styles. Yeah. And it really isn't until you've probably put in the 10,000 hours before, you can figure out where to sort of balance everything, you know, and use all these references without looking like somebody else.
Right.
No,
I hear that. I totally hear that. Michael says, do you have anything new coming out we should look for?
Right now, I'm doing a Shane Davis cover, working on it.
Is that the one you showed me from way back?
Yeah, like last time. And then I ended up redrawing some of it. So, don't ask. And then I'm going to do a couple other covers. I'm going to do the Gem Shock cover for Mandy's new book. So go.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Sign up for that. You can sign up for it now, actually. So.
Yep, the sign up for that's out. That's for Mandy's new book. So that's cool.
So awesome. I've got a very busy February.
Just February?
But I love it, though. I love being... it's so funny, though. I didn't realize I kind of need a little pressure.
Yeah.
You know, like a deadline. I'm so used to working under deadlines that if there's not a deadline coming up, I'm just like, I'll just sit back and watch YouTube. And then I'll start working on it. And I just take advantage of like this, not having a deadline. So I have to impose my own deadlines.
The worst thing you can say is you don't, at least for me, is you don't have a deadline.
Yeah. Because if I have a deadline, I'm going to shoot for it.
Yeah. If I have a deadline, I have that little bit of pressure to where it is a flip of the switch in your brain to where you're like, I've got to get this done. I can't just keep playing around with different whatever.
As Kubert would say, stop playing with it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Hit your hand with a yardstick.
That's right. That's right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up because we've been going for an hour and a half, and my wife is telling me dinner's about done. So,
supper's waiting at home, and I gotta get to it.
That's right.
Remember that one? Remember that one?
I got to feed the beast.
Remember that song, Vicki Lawrence?
I don't.
Oh, sorry.
Do you remember that song?
I've got so many of these 60s and 70s songs rolling.
It's probably Canadian.
No, it's Vicki Lawrence. Come on, Carol Burnett.
Vicki Lawrence. I love Vicki Lawrence. Is she Canadian?
Just a night when the lights went down in Georgia.
Yep.
The night I killed an innocent man or shot or something. It's a very, very big song.
Nice.
I know. I like
what a way to end it.
I was a fan of the Reba version.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I got a lot.
Well, dude, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
All right. It was fun.
I love talking.
Talk about movies and music.
Yeah, dude. We'll have to do it again too and come up with some other cool stuff to talk about. But yeah, dude, it was definitely fun. And everybody, thank you for joining us. And thanks for watching and stuff. We really appreciate it. Michael says, thanks, Dale. He never thanks us. Screw you, Michael.
Screw you
and
much, you guys.
We know Michael.
Michael does too thank us. Stop, Andy.
We know Michael, so we can say screw you and the New York Giants.
Inside.
Exactly. So
inside
thanks, everybody.
baseball.
That's
okay.
Right.
All right.
And we will be back next Wednesday for another DNA show. And who knows, maybe later.
We are going to watch Boba Fett tonight. We are going to watch Boba Fett tonight. So maybe we'll get on tomorrow or Friday and chat a little bit about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Got to see what happens.
Nice.
But until then, we will catch you guys later and leave you with this outro that you guys love. Bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper, everyone.